matter how many times you beat me, we're family. There's no escaping that. My strength fails.
There. By my father's name. Rafa shuddered just now. Come forth, fishes. Got a bite. I caught a bass. Mother isn't far.
Is that you?
It's me.
I could not stand it on Olympus, Zagreus. The blustering, the posturing, my overbearing mother. None of it. I would have left the mountain voluntarily, except
Father absconded with you, didn't he? Dragged you down with him into the underworld. So if Olympus were to find that out, I shudder to think of the consequences.
that fool is trying to protect me even now. It wasn't he who absconded with me, my son. And it's more complicated even than that. I was content to leave, willing to make my life within the underworld, with your father.
I dare not ask who did bring you to Father then. So essentially you ran away from home to live with him. I mean no disrespect, but did you realize what you were getting yourself into?
We have a tendency to be impetuous when we are younger, Zagreus. I heard all about your father before we met. Admired paintings of him. It was very awkward at first, but he had a bluntness I fancied. A sense of principle. I much preferred him to his brothers, I can tell you that.
So, then you secretly left Mount Olympus to be with the god of the dead in the underworld, and Olympus never found out. What do you suppose would happen if they did?
I think there would be war between Olympus and your father, Zagreus, if they found out. Especially now, after all this. And after all this time. They slew their parents once. If the Titans could be wiped from this world, so can we all.
So it makes sense. If Father, he agrees with you and thinks that leaving you in hiding here, that it's the only way he can prevent that war.
I can see how your father, shrewd but also single-minded as he was, might have followed such a line of reasoning as that. Oh, Zagreus. What have I done?
No. What have I done? I can't. Oh, I need to fix this.
Resolved the trouble with the satyrs yet? How are you finding my old trusty spear then, Or perhaps you have a preference for my brother's and my sister's former arms? Kept under lock and key, and yet they're now in your possession, it would seem.
The weapons in the courtyard. Of course you know about them by now. I stole them. Why not just take them from me? I'd be stuck.
The thought has long since crossed my mind. However, I'm not fool enough to tamper with those cursed things. They go where they please. They cannot be contained, like you. Now why don't you go entertain each other more?
Sounds good.
Wait, child, quickly now, before you go. I know how all of this must look. Know that I was true to her, Persephone, and that I think fondly on the time she spent with us.
Of course, Nyx. Though, why did she really leave the underworld, do you think? Besides, because of me. So what if she thought I died at birth?
She did not feel that she belonged. It was a very difficult adjustment she was forced to make. And she feared that she would inevitably end up caught between Olympus and this realm, that she might start a war.
A war. Wars have been fought for less, I understand. And Father must have been a real burden, too.
You do not know. Ask her yourself about her time with him. But I have already said too much, and I cannot say more.
You've said more than enough.
What?
I'll see you next. Orpheus got on the board.
Oh, Your Highness, I was just making the rounds again.
Meg, did you ever meet the Queen? Remember anything about her at all?
It was not my place to address her. I barely ever saw her. Then at some point, I never saw her again. And unlike you, I know better than to get involved in things that are none of my business.
How is it that this place has this secret queen for I don't know how long, then suddenly she just vanishes and no one speaks a word of it?
None of my business, I said.
Please take these, will you, Chef? Totally worth it. Give me the best deal you've got. I'll buy that.
It brings me joy knowing you found something worth fighting for.
Take care, sir. Thanatos, the world outside, didn't you say that it would make you sick being out there for very long at all? I understand now what you meant by that. Beautiful place and all, but it's good to be back.
See what I mean now, Zag? Nice place to visit on occasion, sure. But I definitely wouldn't want to live there.
Couldn't if I tried. Oh, don't mind me. These wall scrolls are awful.
Back, huh?
If that will be all then.